Hey, what's going on, guys? Just a little client rant. For two things. One, for the client that we signed yesterday, and the other, I never talked about it. This is a while ago. One of our first, I wouldn't even say clients because he didn't pay us anything. Um, but first, I'm gonna talk about the one we signed yesterday. 1,500. We didn't process the whole investment up front. If you guys are tuned into my IG stories, he basically just didn't want to process the whole thing on the call itself. So we did $100 deposit, and we're gonna process the rest in 2 days from now, which is the 4th. Um, so yeah, we didn't process the whole investment. He really liked it though, and the reason I'm talking about this is because it's low key. Like, this restored my faith, I guess. I mean, I've always had faith, right? There was not a point where I just kind of like hit an all-time low, um, or not necessarily an all-time low, but kind of just like I've always had faith. But it's like to see, to work at something and to see the reward is amazing. And it's not like this is our first ever client, right? But this is the first call that we didn't leave empty-handed. We left with something. And that feeling is amazing. That feeling is it's literally like it's a high like no other. It's insane. You get this crazy dopamine hit, and yeah, it's literally like nothing else. Um, but yeah, that's that. Um, Gonna get him some crazy deals. Basically, the deal was 1,500 up front, and that covers because we work on a pay per estimate basis. So that covers his first 8 estimates, and every estimate after that eighth point, we charge him $200. So we're gonna get him some deals. It's gonna be crazy. Super excited. Gotta lay out his plan today, and also gotta launch this other client's new campaign. And it's gonna be a long day of classes. So overall, it's just gonna be a very long day. Got a lot of stuff to do. Just recording this quick video before class, but there's actually 2 other client rants that I'm gonna go on. This one was the same day that we signed. So this was yesterday. This is when we signed. This is the appointment before the one that we signed the client. Excuse me. So this guy, holy smokes, this guy was a chud, yo. This guy was melt maxing on the call. I wish I had the Fathom, which is like a video replay, um, but this guy was in his little fuzzy RGB kitty blanket with a nice little beanie, and this guy just looks like he has a rainy cloud just above his, just hovering over his head. And we hopped on the call, and I kid you not, this call lasted less than 30 seconds. Um, so we hop on the call. I had this other guy that we've been training on this to help us with because he's a really good salesman. So we've been training on this whole business model, and he's actually the one who closed the client yesterday. But the appointment before, he was also kind of doing the discovery and everything. So he was like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" He was like, "I'm doing good. How are you?" "I'm doing good, man." So keep in mind, this guy didn't look at the camera once. He had his TV just blaring audio. It was like watching some BS. But they're chatting, and then this guy cuts the salesman off, and he's like, "Okay, so like, what do you guys have to offer?" And then the guy is like, "Yeah, it's the whole shebang, right?" So, and honestly, he low key messed up here, but he was like, "Yeah, so we deliver leads, we qualify them," and that sounds like a typical marketing agency. Now, what you should do, if you ever notice like a window shopper, you straight call them out. I know on the call you may be sweet as a grandma's cookie, and you're just gonna let that slide, but you gotta call them out because people, especially people in this niche, aren't the brightest people in the world. So you gotta call them out. You'd be like, "Hey man, this is something that this is a growth, this is a long-term plan. I understand that you want to get to the price or what we have to offer, but it's X, Y, and Z." So they go chatting. And then as soon as like the dude starts explaining, "Yeah, we deliver leads, we qualify them," he's like, "Okay, I'm good. Have a good day." And he literally just left the call. Sub 30-second sales call. Are you serious? Are you kidding me, dude? Okay. And the funny thing is, this guy's whole dynamic was so different than the appointment right after, the one that we closed. This guy had like 2 sons. This guy was wholesome. He was just trying to get work. He was laughing. He was having a good time. This guy was so wholesome. And this is why I love taking sales calls, because you meet people like this, not the people before. There's like the dynamic of people is so two-ended. It's insane. So we closed that guy. Boom. Good day. Went back to my dorm that day. It was a Sunday. So the last client rant, and this is the oldest, or basically because, like I said, this is the first client that we took on. He paid the ad budget to run his ads, but he didn't pay us anything up front. We were just making the ads for him. We made these ads, and we had like forms set up for all these leads to come in and like answer some questionnaires. And I'm not gonna lie, this was low key like our fault a bit, but this guy was an a-hole, bro. This basically, we should have made some changes during the campaign to like how he wanted the lead form, and we kind of, I wouldn't say neglected, but we basically did neglect his I'd say opinions. So we didn't have the best service delivery. Okay, it was bad, it was awful. But this guy, like at the end of the campaign, this guy just revealed his true colors. Like this guy just started, it's like this guy had like a nice kitty mask on. He just took it off at the end of the meeting and just started going crazy on the messages, just started I wouldn't even say harassing us, but that's low-key OD. But this guy was, like I said, not the brightest person in the world. And funny thing is, we try to upsell him obviously after his term ended, to actually go into a partnership. He didn't want to, kind of suspected it, but a day after no contact, one of my boys checks his Facebook account, and we see he's literally running our ads after our term ended. Now on the contract, he's only able to run our ads that we make during like a term of like a contract, like a term that we have signed. So if he runs ads after our term, our partnership ended, then he's basically violating our contract. So we could have sued. Obviously, we're not going to go to that extent, but it was awful. It was literally a client nightmare. That's what one of my boys called it, and that's exactly what it was. It was a client nightmare. We're using the same exact system that these people that are doing 10, 50K a month are using. It's all about how you frame it. It's all about how you sell it. You can have the system, you can have the technicality of it, but if you don't know how to frame it, if you don't know how to get people to want it, then it's no use. And that's basically, like I said, the close yesterday boosted my faith. And actually, one of my boys said something that is really like kind of aligns with how I feel. Like he said that this ain't even a matter of wondering anymore, it's a matter of time. And he's not wrong at all. We have the foundation set. We just have to keep going at it. We have to keep chasing it, grinding. And yeah, it's going to be a good year. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video today. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Client rant. Don't deal with broke leads. They're awful. Remodelers suck, but they're high ticket. So yeah, that's all I have. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye.